Hey guys, this is Nia, but I think you all know me as Peak. I'm the community manager for Sipher Odyssey, and today I'm going to be hosting the Sipher Dev Update. We're trying out a new format this time, so please let us know what you think. Instead of a typical blog post, you'll have me talking and walking you through the biggest updates and changes from the past few months. The team's been really hard at work, and I can't wait to show you what they've been up to. So let's get into it. So first things first, I want to address some of the community concerns. I want to explain why we're doing it a certain way and what the plan is moving forward. So one of the concerns that's related to our Discord, which is the level of activity, the presence of the founding team on Discord, as well as the steps we're taking to revive and increase community engagement. So as of December last year, the Ather Labs team has had a massive growth in terms of human resources. We're now fully hired out at around 170 employees, all focused on the development of the upcoming Sipher Odyssey game. This also means that there's a massive amount of workload split amongst everybody at the company, including but not limited to Q&A, feature development, game balancing, player progression planning, publishing, marketing, user acquisition, anti-cheat, token economy design. And our entire focus right now is for the earliest possible launch of a high quality product. The founding team, Tin especially, are focused on back-to-back meetings every day with our game designers, producers, economists, etc., finalizing all the areas I've just mentioned and trying to improve the quality of our game and speed up the timelines for release. This doesn't mean, however, that we're neglecting community feedback. Any and all updates has been collected through the CST team, and the CST team is always in direct touch with me, keeping me updated. Unfortunately, because of the reasons above, we haven't been able to spend as much time on social media or Discord. But please rest assured that the CST team is always in direct touch with the founders, and they keep us very well updated. With regards to community engagement, as it currently stands, the CST has been investing time and effort to create and host activities or events with the community. We're also working really hard behind the scenes to increase community engagement and plan to onboard traditional Web2 gamers as well. As we get closer to its public launch, we'll be rolling out many community initiatives such as community tournaments, leaderboard events, cross promotions with other games, in-game events, referral programs, advertising, and game modes such as limited time modes. But the reason that we're going to wait and push a lot of these initiatives much closer to public launch is that we need to generate a snowball effect by garnering more Web2 and Web3 players alike and generating this cascading effect that will lead to a very hyped and effective launch of Sipher Odyssey. And it's simply not effective for us to roll these measures out right now when the launch is still far away. We want to do these initiatives when Sipher Odyssey is fresh in people's mind in a very short time span. So please be patient with us, and please trust that we still have the ultimate success of Sipher as our one and only goal. Next, I want to talk about an update and a reminder for the Brewer NFTs. So for those in the community who are still asking about the Brewer NFT launch, we've mentioned this before, but we've decided to prioritize the launch of the game rather than dedicating the time and resources to another NFT launch, as this would delay the game and we don't think that another NFT launch right now is necessary. Rest assured, however, that those who met the Collectors Program criteria by August 7th, 2022, which is when the snapshot date was taken, will receive their Brewers when the game launches. And when the game launches, you simply link the eligible wallet to your Ather account and you'll receive them. And once you have your Burrows, you'll have the option to mint them as NFTs and trade them, no different to the spaceship minting process. So one of the biggest talking points right now is also around the playtest status and the roadmap. First off, we really want to thank everybody who had the opportunity to playtest in last year's Unity build. We obtained a lot of good insight and feedback from the playtest sessions. And we know that it's been a very long time to reopen playtesting and want to provide some clarity as to why that is. Firstly, this playtest is the first opportunity for thousands of holders to experience the game, and with the current state of NFT gaming, the expectations and the bar are set very low. Therefore, we want to make a really strong first impression and release a very strong and polished build, rather than a rushed out version that does not reflect our vision for the game. We do not want to leave a poor taste for anyone that's trying the game for the first time. Secondly, our upgrade from Unity to Unreal Engine 5 wasn't an easy one. The team has had to learn and adapt to this new engine, and for some parts of the game, we essentially had to rebuild it from scratch. This has also led to, a few unexpected bugs or issues that have unfortunately delayed our development process. Thirdly, for this playtest, we want to be able to collect good data. We want the playtest to have significant differences and many more features compared to the last playtest, which will give the players the ability to provide feedback, which is much more detailed and much more meaningful for us. Next is, when is the playtest and the game launch itself? As stated in the new updated roadmap, we have a few key milestones. The first is the soft launch, which means that we'll focus on certain countries and certain regions, and this will be stated to happen within the first half of 2023. And the official global launch is expected sometime after. Unfortunately, there's no set date for the playtest yet, but we can assure you that it will happen before the soft launch. As for the official launch being moved to 2023, the primary reason is that we're aiming to release it on a mobile-first platform. This is so that we can reach a wider audience, and our research has shown that a mobile gaming audience will be much more receptive than a PC audience at this time. Our goal right now is to create a mobile experience that's very close to PC in terms of graphics, quality, and mechanics. This means that we have to port the game over to mobile, which unfortunately requires many optimizations and has led to a bit of a delay. Our final priority is to have a successful game launch, and if we set a deadline that is too early, it can lead to us either misallocating our resources or forcing the team to crunch for a deadline, which means that we end up shipping a bad product. We know that you're really eager to play, and we're trying our best to ship the game at the earliest possible date. One final thing that I want to address is the pivot from the CD key model to the free-to-play model, which many of you have heard about in our last AMA. Before I explain any further, it's important that we share part of our main vision, which is that we want to onboard millions of users to our products and to the Web3 ecosystem. And our approach with Sipher Odyssey is to become one of the first cross-platform Web3 games that can reach mass audiences while seamlessly exposing and onboarding them into the blockchain, crypto, and NFT space. Following this vision, here are the few reasons why we pivoted to free-to-play. Firstly, and one of the largest reasons, is that we have to be compliant with App Store terms of service. A key step to fulfilling our vision is that we have to launch on devices and platforms with large user bases. As such, launching on mobile devices via the App Store and Google Play is essential. To achieve this, we must comply with the App Store and Play Store's strict NFT policy that prohibits using NFTs as a means of accessing the app or its features. We also consulted with the App Store's legal team, and this CD key model is simply not compliant. It would prevent us from launching on the App Store. Secondly, is player onboarding. The onboarding process can significantly influence a player's decision to try out the game. The easier the process, the quicker it is, the more likely they will play and recommend it to others. Any added difficulty or complexity during this process can discourage them from trying the game. The CD key model makes the onboarding process more difficult for players, as they must first research, learn about the characters and gameplay, and then make a purchase before they can start playing. Thirdly, it leads to an unsustainable economy and barriers to entry. Learning from other Web3 games that has come before us, we know that the CD key mechanism leads to unsustainable economies. This can result in expensive entry prices just to play the game, and players can find themselves in unnecessary stress or financial turmoil due to the economic imbalance. To summarize, upfront monetization of players is impractical, and the CD key mechanic is a relic from the initial iterations of NFT gaming. To our valued Genesis holders, we know that this change was unexpected, and we understand the value and importance of your support and want you to know that we are committed to designing our game with Genesis NFT holders in mind. And this free-to-play model is meant to benefit everyone into the ecosystem. The reason for this is that it allows for ongoing monetization of both new and existing players, which is simply a more efficient model than charging your players upfront to play your game. You can see this amongst many mobile gaming in the app stores on both iOS and Android at the moment. With this new discussion in mind, the discussion now becomes, what's the purpose or benefit of Genesis NFTs, and how are they different from free-to-play players? Unfortunately, we can't share many details regarding the mechanics of the Genesis NFTs within the free-to-play model at this time. What we can say for sure is that all players will have the ability to trade upgraded characters, gears, and blueprints, meaning that you will join us, the developers, and play a key role in monetizing the lifetime revenue from new and existing players. However, regular players must pay a tax to make them more tradable, while Genesis NFT holders are excluded from this tax, allowing for quicker and higher profitability potential. What this functionally means is that we will have mechanics that limit supply into the market. However, these mechanics that limit supply will be much less stringent on the Genesis NFT holders. Genesis NFTs will also have advantages in character generation through our new Genericium mechanic. Genericium is functionally the cloning mechanic. The biggest difference is that rather than only requiring a vessel core to create a character, there are now multiple resources involved in this process, such as character cores, character shards, and vessel shards. And the point to drive home here is that these crafting resources will be obtained by using your existing characters. And Genesis ciphers will have a significantly higher, i.e., more efficient resource generation rate, making them more effective at monetizing the cipher marketplace. Furthermore, those of you who purchased netcodes during the Dutch auction and met the criteria will receive vessel shards at game launch, giving you a further boost in this process. The core crux of this mechanic is that this allows players to take part in the MTX and monetize new and existing players on an ongoing basis rather than one time. We will share more details about the Generisium closer to the official launch, which is when you can expect to see these features integrated into our game. I hope these explanations have helped address some of your concerns thus far. Moving on, we can discuss new game updates, and I want to show you guys the sneak peeks into the creation process and what the game team has been up to. World building and character creation. So this month we want to show you some progress from an igneous biome, Zendor. Zendor is a planet that is full of scars on the many wars that have been waged on its lands. These wars left lasting impacts upon the land, creating a crystalline, igneous, and sandy landscape, all of which are mined for resources to benefit Zendor's inhabitants. So the first major obstacle that you would encounter in Zendor, for now codenamed Pig. Pig is responsible for extracting the resources out of Zendor. It's a machine that drains the materials from the planet, handing it over to its bosses to convert into precious product. Our first design for Pig was actually more of a vehicle, like a car. We wanted to have wheels, like a farm equipment that is alive and functioning. However, a problem that we ran into was that with this kind of design, it will be very difficult to signal to the players when Pig is attacking and showing off its character to the player. So we iterated more into a bionic pig, where you can see it's an animal but still has significant robotic elements tethered to it. The second boss from the Zendor biome, for now, is simply referred to as Demon. If Zendor was a mining operation, then Demon is the head of security for the mining operation. He patrols around the planet overseeing the extraction of its precious materials. Demon's highlight and his identifying character is his tall and imposing build, as well as the large skull necklace that he wears. In fact, one of his strongest attacks is him weaponizing these skulls as a projectile against the player. And if you manage to get past Demon and Pig, they actually combine into a very imposing and dangerous third phase, where Demon rides Pig like a mount, and now the player has to deal with a much more dynamic and deadly moveset. The last character showcased for you this time is codenamed Bone Queen. She's the All-Mother of Zendor, a bony shapeshifter who has two phases, who is essentially the All-Mother of this planet. She is a product of the world of this dry and barren environment. This is why she has this almost dehydrated appearance, and the crystals of the world have started encroaching on her being, represented by her huge crystalline limbs. For all of these bosses, look and style are a very important focus. But another big focus from us is how they interact with their game mechanics, how they force the players to make a tactical decision and change the way that the players play the game. This kind of boss variety forces the players to diversify their gear and their characters so that they can be ready for any and all situations. The boss also has to feel powerful. You have to be intimidated by the boss. This is done through our art team's focus into the animations, focusing on its movement during battle, giving it powerful wide movements that really reinforces its danger and strength to the player. We have been very fortunate to hire a very strong data scientist team to work on our economy models. They are using machine learning and other tools to build mock models and run simulations of our potential economy. We then stress test these models with different parameters to fine-tune the inflationary and deflationary pressures on our future currencies moving forward. I am very excited to go in depth with this much closer to the game launch. Please stay tuned for that. We really want players in the game to be able to go deep into the cosmetic customizations. As you can see from the examples from the screen, these skins not only exuberate character and uniqueness, but also have the stats to back it up. We've also worked hard on a strong variety of weapons to widen the player's choices, giving a niche to every player and every playstyle, not only in terms of their gun choices, but also their elemental affinity. Not only that, but for all our Inu stands that are Neko fans, there will also be unique weapon skins that are based on legendary characters within the lore. Not only will these skins have unique appearances, but they will also have different gameplay boosts that are different from the other weapons of the same type in the game. These weapons will definitely be worth the while. The only question is, will you be able to put in the work to get them? The shift to mobile first will have many ramifications, but one of the major ones is how it affects the user experience and how they interact with the game. Now they are no longer using a mouse with precision control, but instead with their fingers on a touchscreen. Because of this, our icons now has to be much more readable, yet at a much lower pixel count due to the size of the screen. This means that with 24 by 24 pixels, you have to convey a memorable image that also indicates the effect of the skills directly and simply to the player. Something that we have to also consider for mobile is that game size is actually a very big deal, because the longer it takes to download a game, the higher the chance that the players get bored and don't play your game. What this means is that we have to have a very robust DLC system, which can compartmentalize the game into smaller subsegments that are only downloaded on a need-be basis. And here, you can see some examples of the UI screens for various planned game modes in Sipher. The map selection screen, where you can choose which world you're planning to conquer. The boost screen, where you can prepare your power-ups and skills before a skirmish. The character screen, where you can see how your NFTs will become future titular characters of the Sipher Odyssey. We have said that we want players to really enjoy the visual fidelity of Sipher Odyssey when it comes out, and for them to be proud of their Inus and Nekos and to proudly show them off to other players. You can see this in some of these teaser character intros, both of friendly and not so friendly NPCs who you're going to interact with on your quest in Sipher. We have also had breakthroughs and have significantly improved graphics and visual effects. The clips below were taken from the recent in-house testing run of the company. So you can see that we have made a lot of progress in the past few months. And to give a quick recap on the features and changes that have been implemented so far. A new in-house boost and status effect system with support for our new skill boosts. We've improved the enemy encounter system with elite enemy spawning and enemy difficulty scaling. We have rebalanced enemy encounter to support difficulty scaling as well as multiplayer difficulty scaling, where enemies are now built from modular pieces allowing for more enemy creations. There's a new enemy mechanic, homing missiles. There's a new FTUE, which stands for the first time user experience. These are the levels that the players play as the tutorial when they start the game. A new trap system. Game designers can now create more traps freely without engineering effort. A mobile port with new UI and control designated for mobile devices. New and more in-game sound effects and music. Segment 5. Finally, to wrap up, I do want to let you guys know about what's been happening at Ather Labs, what key milestones we've had the past few months, and what we're excited to share with you about. We've obviously had the Neko birthday, which was another significant milestone for us at Ather Labs. We've attended more events to try and recruit more talent, such as the event hosted by Binance Vietnam, as well as the Philippines Web3 Festival, and many more. We've released the 7th chapter of the comics thus far, Tabula Rasa. Please read it if you haven't done so already. Ather ID has been rolled out and is eagerly awaiting to sync with the game launch when it comes. The merch store is on track, so also please expect an announcement from us sometime soon. To summarize, a lot of things are happening at Ather Labs, and we are still full steam ahead for the launch of the Sipher Odyssey. Please be patient with us as we are still trying to learn and to improve, but our goal has not changed. We're going to make a great game, a fun game, that Web2 and Web3 gamers can all enjoy, and we believe that this is what is necessary to make a game that is beneficial to everyone in the long run. We will try to let you know the details of the playtest soon, but please understand that the only reason that we're doing this, and the only reason that we ever push the dates back, is that the quality is not yet up to par, and for us at Ather Labs, a quality product is everything. 2023 will be a tough and challenging year for everyone in the games industry, but we believe in our team's ability to overcome these challenges and deliver a game that you, our supporters, and fans will be excited to play. We can't wait to share more details about the game with you in the next development update. Once again, we want to thank you for your continued support. We wish you all a great 2023, and of course, Happy Lunar New Year.